Hey, what's up? My name's Justin, and this is 65 Drums. Today we're covering the best electronic drum sets for about $500. This is part of a series, so if you also want to know the best e-drums for about like $300, $1,000, $1,500, subscribe to the channel and go check out these videos. Okay, so I do want to mention that I'm narrowing this down to about 3 different sets. The Alesis Surge, the Yamaha DTX402k, and the Roland TD1K. I'm narrowing it down to those because those are the best 3. There's some other terrible drum sets out there, but I wouldn't really look at those. Okay, so the first one on the list is the brand new Yamaha DTX402k. This drum set is a direct replacement to the Yamaha DTX400k. Yes, I realize it's a really confusing name because they're so similar, but that's the way Yamaha does things. This drum set sits on a 4-post drum rack that has a lot of the pads actually already pre-attached while it's in the box, so it's very fast to set up. The drum module itself comes with about 415 sounds, covering about 10 different drum sets. All of them are customizable. The drum module doesn't really have a screen, but you can download an app for your iPhone that's pretty darn good actually, and it lets you customize pretty much everything inside of the drum module. This drum set actually has some of the best training features of any drum set you can buy. I love the fact that this drum module has individual inputs. It doesn't have a cable snake. So that means if one cable goes wrong, you don't have to spend $70 to buy an entire new cable harness. No, you can just replace that one faulty cable. Now, unfortunately, they've stuck with the regular 8-inch pads and a controller pedal instead of going to mesh pads, their silicone pads, or just something different. They've got the classic electronic drum setup back from like 2010, and they haven't really tried to push the envelope at all. So yeah, that is kind of disappointing, especially from a brand new drum set. Okay, so that's the Yamaha drum set. Let's move on to the next kit. This is the brand new Alesis Surge, and it's an impressive little drum set, especially for the price point. You get all mesh pads, so you get dual zone 8-inch tom pads, you get a dual zone 10-inch snare drum pad, and they feel really fun to play on. You even get a mesh kick drum. All of this is sitting on a 4-post aluminum drum rack, and the cymbals are the single zone 10-inch pads. So as far as the drum module goes, it's kind of a mixed bag. The drum module is pretty much the same one that you'll find on the Alesis Nitro and the DM7. The port selection is second to none. You can even add 2 extra drum pads, so an extra crash cymbal and an extra floor tom. The sound quality is my big sticking point here because it's pretty bad, unfortunately. But this drum module does have a nice port selection, so if you want to use this with drum software, this might be something that would tip you in favor. If you're just going to use the internal sounds, yeah, this is the worst drum module on the list. Moving on to the next drum set, we have the Roland TD1K. This drum set is sitting on a very unique drum rack that kind of reminds me of like a keyboard stand from like the 80s or 90s. It has one central post with arms that connect like branches to the different pads. You can move all these arms up and down the drum rack, and that lets you be able to customize it so an adult can play it or a child can play it. Now, unfortunately, Roland doesn't want us to know the actual drum sizes. Even if you look up the individual parts, all you can find out is that the cymbals are 9.5 inches across. They're the CY5, by the way. And the drums are custom gum rubber pads. But after playing this drum set, I know it's about around the same size as the Yamaha drum set. So the gum rubber pads are probably around like 8 inches across. The drum module itself is very limited, unfortunately. You get one USB MIDI port, you get one headphone jack, and you get one aux jack. That means you can't actually record yourself and use the headphones at the same time unless you buy another device like a little mini mixer, or if you're using drum software, so you're using like the USB MIDI port. Now, even though this drum set does have a lot of limitations, it looks kind of funky, the drum module is pretty limited, it doesn't have mesh pads. The drum set overall is very fun to play for some reason. It's probably because those gum rubber pads, they just have a very nice consistency to them and they're fun to play on. The build quality is solid, and because it's a Roland drum set, when you try to sell it on Craigslist eventually or whatever, you're going to get a little bit more for your money. Now, as far as me personally, I can't really see myself buying this drum set, even though it's rock solid. The reason why I wouldn't buy it is because, number one, it looks kind of funky, and number two, it doesn't come with the kick drum tower, which is my big sticking point with this set. Now, with the Yamaha set, if you spend the extra $100, you get a kick drum tower. With this set, if you spend an extra $100, you get a mesh snare, which is not something that I mean, it's cool, it's a good thing to have, but I'd rather have a kick drum tower for that extra $100. Now, of course, if I did buy this drum set, I would probably just go on eBay or Amazon or something and buy a cheaper kick drum tower, because you can actually buy those for like $100 or $150, and that would make this drum set much better in my opinion. Okay, so this is the part of the show where I kind of have to give you like an opinion on which one of these drum sets I would buy personally. I would narrow it down to the Yamaha drum set and the Alesis drum set. So either the Yamaha drum set and then buy a kick drum pad for like 50 or 100 bucks later on, or the Alesis drum set, have it all, but have kind of like crappy sounds. That's really how it all boils down. There's a lot of pros and cons either way. No matter where you go, $500 doesn't really give you the perfect drum set, unfortunately. Now, of course, I gotta mention that the used electronic drum market is a beautiful thing too. If you have like a week or two in order to like look around and wait for the right deal, you can buy something that's better at a lower price. If you can buy used, I would definitely go that route because you'll save money and get a better drum set in the long run. And especially because electronic drums as a whole are just overpriced, that's why I recommend buying used, because you can save like 30 to 50%. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, because I want to know your opinion on this. Of the 3 different drum sets, the Roland drum set, the Yamaha drum set, and the Alesis drum set, which do you prefer? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm really interested to read your thoughts. And of course, this is part of a series. If you want to go check out the other ones, I've already covered the best drum sets for $300. This is the $500 one, and I'm working on the best drum sets for $1,000. Have an amazing day, everybody, and I'll see you in a few.